Are you finding it hard to be consistent in your podcast publishing? Over the past few days, I actually created a new podcast creation process, and it's all part of a Trello board. So I use this Trello board every single morning, and it just makes things so much easier. And in this episode, I wanted to share my learnings with you and share the Trello board with you. So to get the details, listen on. This is episode number 210. All right, make sure to like this video and subscribe to this channel and podcast. So, I've been doing this podcast for almost a year now, and it's always been my dream to be this publisher. I see so many entrepreneurs, digital entrepreneurs, marketing entrepreneurs that are publishing. And I've always wanted to be like those types of people. And, I do this every single morning, Monday through Friday. And I can honestly tell you that publishing on a day-to-day basis, daily, is much harder than it seems. So when you listen to this podcast, it sounds so easy, right? It sounds like, okay, Ken's got it. He just has this whole schedule planned out and everything just works out. But it actually takes a lot of work. It takes a lot of planning, brain power, just mental power to power through all of these episodes every single day. And I hit a roadblock where there's some days, honestly, where it takes me hours to just create an episode because I don't know what to talk about. I'm not in the right mental space where I need to restart every single time. I don't know exactly how to position an episode. And it just sometimes takes a long time to get an episode out there. And I knew this was a really big roadblock. And, I've been watching and reading a lot of different podcasters out there. Now, all the marketers that you see out there, they're publishers, number one. Like, they have these YouTube videos, they have these podcasts, websites, social media. They're constantly publishing. And these people publish because they have a process. So I was watching Steve Larson's Content Machine. So he has a content machine, I guess like a mini course, where he explains how to build a content machine, which is essentially a content creation process. And he explained that he had a Trello board of all of his podcasts. And that was a big green light for me because I knew that I had to create some type of Trello board to plan out everything and make sure I follow a set process to allow me to just have more mental space and know that every single morning I know exactly what I'm going to be talking about and I'm not just stuck for hours trying to figure out what to do. So I built out the Trello board for you guys and I wanted to share the Trello board with you. So the Trello board, for all of my YouTube viewers out there, it looks like this. Now, just to explain it for all of my listeners, the Trello board is divided into 4 columns. All right. The first column is an assets column. So the assets column has a template of just the standard card for every single episode. And I will include more assets. So kind of give you another backstory, I actually created a board, not on Trello, but I actually started off with Infinity. Now, Infinity is kind of a competitor to Trello. So I initially started off with Infinity, but there were some roadblocks with it, so I transitioned to Trello. But I started off with Infinity, and in my assets, there's logos. So I have all of my logos for my podcast. And then I also have a YouTube description standard CTA that I copy and paste to all of my YouTube videos. All right, so on my Trello, there will be the YouTube description, there will be the logos, and then also a template for the card for every single episode. All right, so that's the assets column. And then as I go to the right, there's the ideas column. So this is where all of my ideas are just put out there. All right, I put all of my ideas in my ideas column. And then in progress are the cards that are currently in progress. So for today's episode, it's episode 110. So I have my card 110 in the progress column. And then the last column is a published. So these are all the finalized episodes that are out the door and done with. All right, so let me explain a card for you guys. So just let me open up a template. So the template has, it has three things, all right? So the template has the title, it has a description. So description has the intro, and all of my intros follow the ADA format. It's a copywriting format. It stands for attention, interest, desire, and action. So all of my intros follow this format. And in the description part, I do have the copy and paste of what I put at the end of all of my show notes. All right, so there's a link to my YouTube, and there's a link to ratethispodcast.com/The Calm Marketer to have people rate and review my podcast. Now there's also an image that I create as well, all right, on Canva. So let me open up the card for today. You'll see the title says episode number 210, my podcast publishing process, Trello checklist. And you'll see my ADA intro, and then, which basically is what I read in the intro. If you listen back, I basically read the intro, and then the standard description that I copy and paste onto every single show notes. And also let me open up a published one. So back in episode number 209, which was yesterday, same process, the same outline, right? So there's the ADA intro, the description that I copy and paste. The only thing that's different is the image, right? So I add an image just to add some visual, and the image is the YouTube thumbnail that I upload, all right? So whenever I upload these into YouTube, I create a thumbnail, and I add the thumbnail to every single card just to have that visual there, and I add it as a cover, right? I add it as a cover. So this is how every single card is created for every single episode. All right, so this really just helps keep things moving along. I mean, keeps things very, very organized. Before, I was using Microsoft OneNote, which was good because it allows you to just put all of your chicken scratch out there, and it's so easy just to put ideas out there. But I realized that I needed something more structured. I needed something that will allow me to just be a lot more organized. And this helps me so much in the mornings. All right, so if you want a link to this Trello board, just go to thecalmmarketer.co/podcast-Trello-board. thecalmmarketer.co/podcast Trello board, dashes in between each word. All right, so go there to get a copy of this so you can get started with having a consistent publishing schedule. All right, so I invite you to like this video, subscribe to this YouTube channel and this podcast, and go to ratethispodcast.com/The Calm Marketer to leave me a rating and review. So with that said, I will speak to you guys in the next episode.